by Artspace, and June is such a busy month at the moment. There's so much going on, good and bad. So it's Pride Month, which is great. There's the unrest with an upset and the protests as a result of the unlawful and disgraceful death of George Floyd. May he rest in peace. And it's Black Music Month. So it's a bit of a collage of things going on. So I thought we would look at collage work and one particular artist, Romare Bearden. So there's many different approaches to this mixed media form of art, and it's worth a research, worth a look up. I love collage work. I just think it's so interesting and it's so individual. So collage is basically gathering different materials and putting them down into a piece of artwork. And as I said, there was an African-American artist particularly known for his collage work, and he's called Romare Bearden. And he was part of the Harlem Renaissance, which was an artistic explosion in Harlem, New York City, around about the 1910 to 1930s. And Harlem was, and still is, a predominantly black neighbourhood. And during the Harlem Renaissance, it was considered this was the golden age of African-American culture. And the Renaissance not only included visual art, but it also included literature, music and the performing arts. And it was a time when African-Americans were very discriminated against in all parts of life, but particularly in the arts. Galleries would not show African-American artwork at all. So Romare Bearden's work was and is well known for its visually powerful statements on African-American life, jazz and folklore in particular. So I've just messed about with some collage work this week, and as a result of everything that's going on, I've come up with this kind of, it's a bit of equality going on due to the George Floyd situation, black music going on, and get up, stand up, that kind of thing. So this is what I've come to put together this week. And I've also played around with, I love African art, so I've played around with African mask collage work, and this is just a basic approach to collage work, which is a good starting point if you've not collaged before. So just a few tips on collaging. As I say, you gather your different materials, which are all magazines, papers, leaflets, handouts, whatever you have that you can cut up and recycle, catalogues, use those sort of things. And then the next tip is to think of your composition, because otherwise you're sat there aimlessly looking through all these little literature papers you've got and magazines and not knowing what you're looking for really. So if you've got an idea in your head of what the composition is going to be, it doesn't have to be a finished idea, just I'm going to focus on, for example, Black Music Month, then at least you're knowing for things to look for in these magazines or literature papers based on what you would like to put in a black music collage. And combine elements as well. Use big and small images next to each other. Don't worry about perspective. Use things that would be in the distance, bring them forward, like a big guitar. He would be normally holding it, that's forward now because it's Black Music Month, so that's more that's like what the focus is, apart from as well as all the equality thing. And then use like attractive stuff, non-attractive stuff, sharp images, blurry images, and it just adds interest and depth to the collage rather than it just being flat and looked like flat images stuck together. And then consider the background. If you're the background, I've painted this background on first, pre-painted it, and this one I've felt tipped. So if you want your images to pop out, subdue your background. If you want it all visual and bright, brighten your background and add your images, maybe darker images on top of your background. So your background's important to that will affect what your images come across as. And yeah, the best glue I tend to use for collage work is good quality glue sticks like a Pritt stick or a UHU stick, because PVA or white school glue tends to bubble your images off and it becomes all wavy and bubbly. So I thought I'd just show you this approach that I've done on this background picture here. So I'll bring it over here so you can see it closer. I've just done coloured felt tip, but it can be done in any medium. That's the whole beauty of collage work and mixed media work. You just add whatever you want. So this has basically got felt tip, some paint work here, cut up papers, stickers. You can put chalk pastel on. I will probably still work on this picture after keep on going, because I think it still needs more work going on. And yeah, that's the beauty of it. You can stop when you want. You can add more when you've had a look at it and decided you want it to go on further. So I'm going to pop that there, and then I'm just going to show you quickly how I did the background. So I'm going to go this time. So basically, just get a piece of A4 paper, felt tips, make your felt tips go the other way as well, and basically quickly colour in. This can be done in paint, so you're just providing, rather than printed perfect print from magazines, which are great as well. It just adds a bit more texture when it's random painted or coloured in background as well. So if we just fill in very roughly. See, for example, so I'm going to go diagonal. And then what I'll do is I'll just go with a bit of, do some of these little white spots in. I just have a bit of a random background like so. This is exactly how I did that one at the back there. And put some blue on here. And decide what colours you want, so depending on what your composition is. And we just can basically rip up what we've done. I use these old bits of card, that's my washing powder box there, see? But you can use paper again, anything you've got, paper, washing up boxes, any old cereal packets. Just gives a bit of sturdiness of it. Glue on, and then we just place them where you want. Try to not line them up there, because that's we want to add a bit of interest, so don't line the colours up where you've ripped them, because you basically just might as well have stuck the whole paper back on. So, and we keep going like so. And you can rip, you can cut, depends what the effect you're after. I don't mind ripped pieces, I kind of think they're quite interesting, the ripped edges. And you basically fill it all in, which I haven't got enough to do, so I'll just concentrate on this bit there. Then you would then start, so that's your background. If you've painted it, obviously you let it dry or whatever. You can just do one whole piece if you want, and then I've just basically cut out little bits out of black and white paper for ease, but obviously if you've got your composition in mind, you would then go into your magazines and look for images that suits what you're after. So I'm just doing the opposites, black and white, because the current situation. We are all equal, aren't we? So, and then you just work on. So I'm going to put the black hair this side, and I just going. I mean, a lot of people do tend to consider collage work as childlike, babyish work, but it's not, because it can be as political as you want, as dynamic as you want, as intricate, as detailed as you want, or as basic as you want, really. So it's a simple form. It's a bit like jigsawing. You can get addictive and you keep doing it. And you just carry on. This is my little mouth there. So put a little... And yeah, basically, collage work. So give it a go. And then layer it up. So if you, I would just go through this one here rather than keep. So I then layer it up, put up the details, and then on the background here, I went in with some paint. So I've got paint work where these little bits are. I've accentuated like red and painted over the red marker again, and then I've had these little bits of cardboard over where there's stripes, like yellow stripes there. I've added colour in there, and then I've painted, so I've added paint. Like I said, this has got felt tip on, it's got paper cuttings, and it's got paint as well around the outside, and it just makes it more interesting. I'm going to build up here a bit more around there, and I'm just going to keep going at that. So yeah, I think collage is it's quite relaxing for the mind. I think it's a very mindful technique, and yeah, have a go. Look up the Harlem Renaissance, look up Romaire Bearden, who's got great artwork all to do with jazz music and the folklore of African Americans. And yeah, have a good week, and post any pictures you've got. I'd love to see them on info@thestudiowitness.org.uk. So see you next time. Bye.